pregnant. I'm officially primary custodian of the kids. What about the child support? That's it? Tony, that's crazy. Why? Are you kidding me? That all of this financial burden with my children is on me?
What?
This is not fair.
How beautiful is the Kalma? Welcome to the wall. Today I bring you several divorce cases. I want you to analyze the reasons why a woman leaves a man, as a man today teaches us what to do when a woman asks for a divorce. Before we begin, brothers, we strive to bring you the best possible content for your entertainment. Support us with something small like subscribing to the channel or liking the video. Leave your comment with your experience on the topic. This helps the channel reach the majority of men who may need this content and your experiences. So without further ado, let's start.
So I thought I'd talk for just a minute about this divorce that I'm going through, because I'm sure just like I found some relatable advice through here, other people might relate to me. So I was married for 10 years. I got married young. I was 21, barely, like 3 days, 21. Already had a baby. He was 8 weeks old at our wedding. And I remember feeling like my marriage was temporary from the beginning. Like that I wasn't gonna make it. And I didn't know what that feeling was. I just thought it was cold feet, but it kind of manifested itself for the next 10 years. And here we are 10 years later going through a divorce. So he didn't really start this process. I guess it was more so me, because I was always looking for someone else because I didn't know how to be loved or how to accept love from somebody. And so while he was fighting for me, I was pushing him away. But I never truly accepted happiness. I left the good guy. I left the guy that everybody looks at and is like, that's a dad, that's a husband, that's how it's supposed to be. He did the dishes, he cleaned the house, he took the kids to school, he worked all day, he made good money, he supported us. I mean, yeah, we had our problems, but he was the good guy. So I'm here to tell you, it's okay to leave the good guy. Don't stay because he's the good guy. Leave because he's not the guy for you. Leave because you have to be happy. Because if you don't feel in love, then who cares if he's the good guy? And that is a harsh reality that I'm facing right now, and a lot of scrutiny from a lot of people. But it's okay to leave the good guy. I hope that helps you, because nobody has looked me dead in the eye and say it's okay to leave the good guy.
If your husband is a good guy, but you're ready for divorce, you're not a bad person. So don't let...
Where did all the good men go? If you're not happy in your marriage, just get a divorce. And then go find someone new so you can enjoy some more temporary happiness. Like, this has got to be the worst advice I've ever seen on the internet. Like, I thought marriage was a commitment, for better or worse. Nah, it's just when you're not happy, leave. Go find someone else. But guess what? Your second marriage and your third marriage, by the data, says it doesn't get easier. Actually, your chances of divorce go up. Because you develop a mindset, oh, well, if I'm not happy, we're not talking about abuse or cheating, but if I'm not happy, I'm leaving. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with being miserable the rest of your life. But hey, that's what people do, right? That's what we do in 2023. Why even say vows? Because obviously they mean nothing, right? Like I said in the beginning, where did all the good men go? Where did all the good women go? Do better. Facts.
Brothers, on the wedding day, I've always said there's only one person getting married for love, and it's the man. The woman gets married for a lifestyle. This woman got married young, probably with a beta provider, not because she had a genuine interest in him, simply for his resources. Like any good beta man, he treated her like a queen, yet she still left him because, of course, she deserves to be happy. But you might wonder why she left the good guy, the nice guy. Simply because this man never generated a roller coaster of emotions for her. He wasn't a Chad who caused her anguish, absence, and uncertainty. As I've said before, these are your best allies. This is what this man didn't do. He never created drama for her. He only did everything to keep her happy. We all know that a woman is loyal to her emotions, which are the strongest emotions: anger, bad times. So, since this man didn't let her have drama, this woman didn't cling to him. On the contrary, as she says, I distanced myself, of course, because the guy became more anxious to get his woman back. He kept giving and giving more of himself, while what she wanted was drama, instability, for this man to leave her thinking that she could lose him at any moment. A man should never let the woman feel secure within the relationship. The moment you provide comfort to a woman, she'll think she can do whatever she wants and you won't leave. This is the worst thing that can happen to you. Now she'll go for a Chad who messes with her head. But you know what? She'll love him. She'll give him everything because he brings her anguish, absence, and uncertainty.
The ongoing divorce trend is proving that many women are leaving marriages without second thought. This is what is leading to many of them regretting their decisions. It's all about feelings and happiness, but not the vows themselves.
Hi, my very first video. My name's Kirsten. I'm 53 and I am in a big mess because I am moving out of my house that I've been with my husband for more than 30 years. I'm 53. I know I look 53, but that's what I am. I'm also hugely overweight because I've been miserable for so long that all I do for pleasure is have a glass of wine or have some nice food because I don't have any happiness with my husband. I got an apartment. I got a job. So I'm going to move into that apartment. It's a 1-bedroom apartment. And I have 3 daughters, but they're older. So they can come and I'll sleep on the couch. But I didn't know what else to do. That's all I can afford where I am. But I did get the apartment under my own credit. I cry a lot. I'm going to try not to. But I wonder if there's any women out there like me. At my age, I'm not expecting to be here, but being here. And I'm doing this all by myself. I haven't told my husband or my children yet. I don't know how. I think I'm just going to move in slowly, and then I'll have a place to go for when things get bad. This time I went out and I got that apartment and I got a lawyer. And it's just so scary, and it just feels like the end of everything I've ever known. I've never lived alone in my life. Well, I did it. Here I am on my new bed, my princess bed. And it rained all day yesterday when I moved. I went to bed at 6 o'clock at night. I had a bath in my new bathtub. And you know what? It was hard, and I had a breakdown, and the movers were watching and felt sorry for me, and they were hugging me when they left and saying they were sad.
Brothers, she wants me to pity her. Women leave their homes without a plan, only with the thought that everything will be fine because they are the victims and God and society will reward them for divorcing. But this dream ends when you have to face the reality that now she'll be a poor woman who has to fend for herself, that no one will pay her expenses. She makes a big drama simply for having to live like a functioning adult. This video consists of more parts, so this is just the first, but we can already see from the beginning that she's playing the victim card. Later, she'll surely blame everything on her husband for not making her happy all the time because, brothers, she deserves to be happy.
that I was sad and, you know, whoops. But today I woke up and you know what? I felt free. I felt so excited for the first time in years, just like a weight had been lifted off me. And I feel amazing. I'm so excited. My place is a mess. I haven't unpacked everything because, of course, you can't. And it's so small. There's nowhere. Like, I have to organize like crazy. But I feel really grateful. Yeah, it's amazing. I feel like a different person already. I feel like I can do whatever I want, and I'm not responsible for anybody anymore but me.
A few moments later.
So, the last few days have been super traumatizing for me. My own fault. It's always my fault. But anyway, I didn't know. Well, I guess I did know, but that I would have this really strong reaction physically, trauma reaction to finding out that my estranged husband has been having a new relationship. Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't. We've been separated for a year, but we see each other a lot and we spend time as a family together a lot. And I had asked him many times, are you seeing somebody? And he said, no. I kept saying no. And then he'd take me to dinner and we'd have a nice chat. And I have a boyfriend that I've been seeing. So it's not like I think he shouldn't. Don't get me wrong. This isn't about that. But what happened was because he didn't tell me, I felt safe around him still, like in the way that he still loved me. So he invited me to go on a trip with him and the girls, and I said yes. He bought this big boat for his business, and so we went and got on this boat. But I said yes because I didn't want, you have this feeling when you first get separated that you can't imagine your husband and your children having a great time without you or with a new woman. And I was like, okay, I don't know whether I should go or not. Like, I don't want him to think something. And but then my daughter said, well, he's not going to ask you again, so you should come. And I don't know why she said that, but I do now. So I went. And then when I was there, I found out, because he kept texting, and I just was like, what's going on? And anyway, I found out through some very horrific texts, my fault, that not only was he having a relationship, but they're totally involved in saying, I love you and blah, blah, blah.
My God, how narcissistic can a woman get? Let's break it down. You have a boyfriend, you left your husband, and then you record how happy you are in your new apartment, all excited about not having to take care of anyone else. Of course, now you don't have to help your ex-husband with anything. You go off with another man who only uses you for the moment, but then you go to your ex-husband's house to live out your fantasy of being a happy wife with your family, even though it's been a year since you left him. But you're angry and traumatized to see that the guy isn't miserable or dying of love for you, because you wanted him to be miserable. But your ex-husband moved on. I'm sure what hurts you the most is that he's with a younger, more beautiful woman than you. Now you see him happy, and you're scared because his new girlfriend will enjoy the benefits that you had when you were his wife. Surely that man will now spend his money on his new love, live his life. That fills you with hate because you're alone in an apartment, while he's not miserable. But now you're miserable because of him. Now your I deserve to be happy isn't working out because you don't have your ex-husband as a simp behind you. My God, if I didn't see it, I wouldn't believe it. How narcissistic is this woman? But let's continue because there's more.
And I had this physical trauma. Like, I went off the fucking rails. It was terrible. And I was physically ill. And there's a link. They did a study at Johns Hopkins. It's called stress cardiomyopathy, which happens, and it's also called broken heart syndrome, and nobody really takes offense to that because it's what it is. And there's also studies of people that die 88 minutes apart, like the couple in Pennsylvania in 2012. They'd been together their whole lives, 57 years or something, and they died at 88 minutes apart because they just couldn't live without the other person. And I think the hard part is that because I'd been with him for so long, since I was 18, for him to be in a relationship where he is in one and you can't figure it out in your mind. And then it felt like he had died. And I kept getting this sick feeling like he was gone and dead. And I almost wished he was dead because it was so shitty of him not to tell me. I almost wished he was dead because it was so shitty of him not to tell me.
Did he really have to tell you about his dating life? He no longer owes you any explanation.
And take me out there so that I'm trapped on a boat with him and his girlfriend on the phone. And then I find out she's at his house and it's like everything in that house is mine, like that we got when we were married. And that she's been sleeping there. I had no idea. None.
Once again, it's honestly none of your business. You have a boyfriend. That should be your only concern now.
And I just feel like that was a bad way for me to find out. I wish I'd had more gradual way to get to it because I felt humiliated, embarrassed, stupid, old, ugly, because I think she's like 30 and like typical, right? And I honestly, I've been in shock for 4 days. And he's like, well, get over it. You do it. And it's like, you have no, what? This is traumatizing. And I just acted so badly. And
You've heard it all here. It's not that she hurts from losing him. She hurts because he replaced her with a younger, more beautiful woman. She's 53, and the new girlfriend is 30. That guy plays to win, and I'm proud. Of course, it's not her business who he's in a relationship with. Now she's playing the victim because he did the same thing to her. It's easy for her to say that she was with him to make the family happy when he knows she has a new boyfriend who beats her all night, her new Chad. Oh, if he had complained, you would have told him, we're divorced, you don't get to tell me how to live my life. But now that he's doing it, oh, she's traumatized. Oh, she has a broken heart syndrome. Oh, she's in our house of 18 years. Oh, I've hit the wall, and the wall doesn't forgive. That's a man who showed you that there are better people out there. He replaced you with someone younger and prettier. Now you're living your life around him, carrying on, crying on the internet about how he could do this to you, how he's with another woman. When I broke up with him, I slept with my new boyfriend. You were supposed to be my simp, my miserable ex-husband who I always used as a puppet, or my backup plan when I got tired of going out with other men. I wanted to go back to my old life. But let's keep watching this narcissist.
did all the things you're not supposed to do. And I have blocked him and I'm not, he's like, let's be friends. I'm like, I'm gonna be fucking friends with you. Not now. Not right now. And then I find out, I'm like, did she come here with you when you were looking at this boat? No. Well, of course she was there for 3 weeks. They spent like 20 grand there, at least, when he couldn't give me any spousal support. Which, talk about red flags. Like, these were from the minute I met him. And I just loved him so much and didn't think anything. Like, I can't see my relationship from the outside. Anybody else can see it and say to me, are you crazy? You've been on this horrific, traumatic roller coaster since you met the guy. Everything's a crisis. Everything's a financial shenanigan. Everything's a trauma. It's turned into this cycle of trauma over and over and over and over. And both of us get this huge dopamine rush from the trauma. And then we go back for more. And he doesn't know how to live without the trauma because he does it all the time for business, for everything. And I'm just, I think he likes her. I don't know, but it's somebody for him right now. And I'm glad that he has someone. I'm not trying to take that from him. And he's not a bad man, but it was a bad, bad thing for me. And I'm coming out of it now, but it's like it brought everything to the front. Like, all the memories and everything that he used to do for me, he's now doing for someone else. And this is fine. It's normal, but it's not normal. But I think I hadn't really faced that yet or thought that he would, because I'm ridiculous. But, you know, we always put things aside, don't we? I'm doing okay, but I wish I didn't have to go through this.
This is what I call an alpha widow. This woman left this man, who seems to have been well off. Of course, she had it good with him. You could see it at the beginning, happy as can be, talking about how glad she was to leave him, that she had her own apartment, probably bought with the money she took in the divorce. To top it off, she found herself a new boyfriend. Now she cries over the life she had because they separate, thinking everything will stay the same, that she can go around with as many men as she wants while her ex-husband will be alone, miserable, waiting for her to reconsider. But revenge is a dish best served cold. The man sailed away on his boat with his new girlfriend. That got to her. It made her angry. It enraged her. Seeing him spending money with the new one. She even knows how much, 20 grand, with his new 30-year-old girl, this guy in his 50s. The old woman must have been boiling with rage. Damn, that man's satisfied face must have been a sight to behold. Brothers, learn from this man. He clearly has a business mindset. He didn't divorce her. He didn't leave her. She did. But he didn't cry over his losses. He worked on himself. He found himself someone younger. This wretch is asking for $20,000 in alimony to go spend it with her new boyfriend, an abuser. Get a job. Let the new boyfriend support you. Now you'll see the new woman living the life she had, going to the places he used to take you, because as you said, he was a good man. Brothers, karma is wonderful. In the end, she left him seeking her happiness. But what she ended up doing is making her ex-husband happy. How I love happy endings. Welcome to the wall. In today's video, I want to show you why marriage is a bad deal for men. What better way to do that than by showing you videos of divorced women? You'll see a video of a woman who admits to marrying several men throughout her life just for their money, only to end up divorcing them, which proves profitable for her. Before we start, brothers, we strive to bring you the best possible content for your enjoyment. Support us with something small like subscribing to the channel or liking the video. Leave a comment sharing your experiences on the topic. This helps the channel reach as many men as possible who may need this content and your experiences. So, without further ado, let's begin.
My story is not unique. I left a marriage after 15 years. I had 3 kids with the man. I had built a life with him, and I really wanted it to work. Deciding when it was time to leave, deciding that I had tried hard enough, deciding that yes, it was worth to take the risk of the unknown for leaving the known, which I had become very accustomed to over the last 15 years. And even though I was miserable, there was some security to it. There was a little bit of, at least I was comfortable in knowing what to expect. As the years would roll by and every birthday I got the same card that said next year will be better, I somewhere deep inside thought to myself, there's no way. And the only way that my life is going to change is if I leave. But I had 3 kids. And I was also thinking, wait, if my happiness means that I'm taking away the kids' happiness, and all of the guilt that came into play of, am I being so selfish that I want to leave this? And is it bad enough? But here's the kicker. The kicker is that if you are in a place where you are absolutely miserable, you're being treated horribly, or whatever your circumstances are, but you know in your heart that the only way to change your life is to leave, let me tell you that you will carry guilt with you, that it will be extremely difficult. And when you are looking for people who you're like, okay, well, she left and look how her life turned out, and you're looking for examples, and your mind is researching for the evidence that you're going to be okay, I'm going to tell you that no matter what it is, that's the unknown that's on the other side. If you are in a situation right now where years are passing by and you are still miserable in a relationship and you're not being taken care of and you're not being seen and you're not being heard and you're just being alone in a marriage, the unknown is terrifying, but there's nothing more terrifying than looking back and seeing all the years that you wasted living in fear.
Wow, this woman was probably married to the devil himself because it's a whole hero's journey she's telling us. just to cover up the fact that she destroyed her home. For the wonderful reason all modern women have, she deserves to be happy. Here I wonder, isn't marriage supposed to be the union of two people through thick and thin? Or is it just a commitment to make the woman happy? Because listen to her, playing the victim, saying, I'm being selfish by prioritizing my happiness over my children in a home where I'm not seen, where I'm not heard. Brothers, it's clear they heard her loud and clear, but since she was unhappy, she just wanted to leave. I bet no matter what this man did for her, she would always find something to complain about because when a woman doesn't want you, everything you do smells bad to her. Now she wonders if she's selfish, looking for examples to see if it's okay, because what she seeks from others is validation for leaving her marriage, taking her children out of their comfort, of having their father in their lives just because she wants to try with other men, to risk her children with a new stepfather who knows what tricks he might have, but she doesn't think about any of that. She's not selfish because, as everyone knows, she deserves to be happy.
In Pennsylvania, the courts decide in a divorce based on equitable distribution. Equitable distribution does not mean equal division of assets. It means what the court considers fair. The biggest factor the court's looking at is the difference between the parties' incomes. What the court may not consider is if your spouse cheated. If your spouse cheated, it has no bearing on how the assets are going to be allocated between the two of you. The only thing that will matter if your spouse cheated is whether you're going to have to pay them any type of alimony. It's a factor the court would consider if you were making more money. If you make less money than them, the fact that they cheated has no bearing on your divorce.
And that's why they keep cheating on you, over and over again, because it doesn't affect them. In every state, the divorce rules change, but it doesn't matter where the case goes. The man will always be the most affected because the woman is always the victim, and the man always has to take responsibility. Divorces are painful, according to the stories of many women. But for whom? For the man who sees how he loses his home, half of his money, part of his pension plan, has to pay alimony. To top it off, the worst part is when you have to give a woman alimony while she never remarries. You know she'll never marry or work because she never worked with you. How do you think she'll do it now when she's being taken care of and doesn't have to give you anything? This system is horrible because it's tough to get ahead in this country, only to end up with nothing later on. Seeing how Chad, a man who brings nothing to the table but his seed, is enjoying everything you worked for. If you doubt it, check out the comments the brothers will leave about divorce stories in this video. They're shocking. But watch the next video to see that marriage only benefits the woman.
We were talking about whether there should be no fault divorce or fault divorce. We were also talking about, should there even be marriages today? Kind of what's your take on some of these issues?
Well, I mean, I love marriage. I've done it a few times. So, that's my thing,
A couple of few times.
And I hate to say, in my younger day, I used to see it as a sport. I got married for sports. I did get married for the wrong reasons because a lot of women, they don't know how to, cash in on a marriage.
Oh,
But I had the formula, so I did it for fun.
Wow. Okay, wait. What is the formula for cashing in on a marriage? Doing marriages for fun.
Cashing in per se, but getting a high value man and getting them to the altar. A lot of women don't know how to do that as pure professional, because a lot of times as professional women, we lead with our education instead of leading with our hearts or with our, sexuality in a way. So a lot of women, they cannot get married to the man they want. And so, I kind of figure out the formula for it. I can teach y'all that want me to, but that'll be another service. But yeah, one thing is with marriages, when you look to marry someone, you also want to see them as someone you can possibly divorce. And in a positive way.
Wow, wait. Say that again.
When you get married to someone, you want to see them as someone you're able to divorce. As in, you don't want to get married to an asshole and he's there's gonna do a divorce. Rape you, I meant to say, do a divorce. You want to get someone that kind of where their heart is, where their mind is. So if things should go left, you don't have to worry about turning into a vicious kind of person, even though things do happen. But yes, all of the husbands I married, I kind of figured it would be easy to divorce because I knew they were decent men to, begin with.
I don't hear no more of this.
In short, you get married while eyeing the assets you'll take from the man once you leave him. That's why you, Mr. Simp, thinking of getting married for love, with your belief that she's different, don't make her sign a prenup. I'm telling you, don't curse her later in the divorce because you entered into a business deal where you weren't prepared, but your partner was. As I've always said, on the wedding day, only one person gets married for love, and that's the man. The woman marries for a lifestyle. She only sees you as a man who, if she has a child, will provide maintenance. They know that you'll build your wealth, and their children will inherit it. But not only that, they know that the day they leave you, they can take a big piece of the pie without having to work at all. But Mr. Simp gets married for love. Brothers, these modern women are like cats hunting rats, chasing after high-value men. Do you think it's because all these men are loved? No, most are just men who bring a lot to the table. These women nowadays want everything easy. Why do you think they invest high amounts of money to stay competitive in the sexual marketplace? Why do you think they leave good men for richer men? It's because all they care about is money. Tell the one you think loves you that you want a prenup, and I bet love will walk out that door with 2 suitcases in hand. These women are playing to win.
So I got divorced in my 40s, remarried at 50 years old, and here's what that taught me about love and happiness. Going through my divorce in my 40s, incredibly difficult, from being used to saying we to now trying to get used to saying I again. And then the biggest challenge though was being able to find myself and finding meaning again in all of it. I had to navigate through so many feelings because it really affected my self-worth. And I'd ask, am I ever going to meet somebody again? Do I ever want to get married again? I often said no. Can I pull off a wedding dress in my 50s? So many crazy questions. But I was incredibly lucky to meet my now husband who loves me for who I am. He doesn't try to change me. I don't want to change him. And he really embraces me for what I bring to the table at this age. And it makes me feel more confident in myself and where I want to go next. And we all deserve that. So this whole experience really taught me not to settle for anyone. And I've heard from a lot of you. And this is my dad's advice, and I love it. It's better to be alone than lonely with someone. And yes, I did have a wedding at 50 and pulled off the wedding dress.
Something very true is that a woman will always have a simp behind her no matter her age. Now, does this mean it happens to all of them? Because in this same video, there were many comments from women hoping this happens to them, saying, I want to be the next one. If you see this, it confirms that it's a small number of women who manage to find another husband. So many of them resort to keeping a younger man, the classic Chad, who's just there for fun, while she buys him a car, pays for his house. Yes, because nowadays, there are many sugar mommies. There are hundreds of videos of women talking about dating younger men. The reality here surpasses fiction. Many women, after hitting their mid-30s, hit the wall. It's a minority of women who manage to get married because men are passing over these women. Because we all know that the wall spares no one.
I told myself that I wasn't going to talk about my divorce online because I wanted to respect people's privacy. But I feel like I'm going insane. I have been separated from my soon-to-be ex-wife for less than a month. And it is just obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. And I appreciate all the love and support that I am getting from my friends, from my family, from people who barely know me, from my lawyers. Like, I'm grateful. But what I think people don't realize is, like, if you are not in the divorce, so like all my friends and my family, whatever, like their lives continue. And I'm over here drowning, struggling to breathe, crying all the time, feeling so angry, feeling like this 24/7. And my life has to continue too. And I'm getting up in the morning and I'm doing the best I can because that's life. I'm a 30-year-old, like I'm an adult. I have a big girl job. That's just how it works. But I feel like I am screaming And I'm like back here screaming, and everybody else has continued walking forward and they can't hear me anymore. And it's not their fault. The anger that I feel right now is not their fault. I just want this to be done. I want this to be over because I feel like I'm losing my mind. And each day, there's a new thing that I have to deal with. And getting divorced from a person who has become a version of themselves that I do not like, that I do not recognize, is so heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because I'm married to this person for a reason. I love this person. When me and this person got married, we discussed if we were ever going to get divorced, we were going to do it in the most amicable way possible. And I tried. I tried my very best. And maybe she is also trying her best. But her best isn't good enough. And maybe my best isn't good enough for her, but I need my therapist. Or a punching bag.
I can't stop laughing at this. Welcome to the world of men. I'm showing you this video so you can see that they don't even forgive each other. On the wedding day, tears of happiness flow, but on the day of divorce, they're tears of pain. This woman thought divorce would be easy. We split up, and that's it. Each one takes something. But she didn't remember that it's 50-50, that she married a woman. A woman always wants to see her ex miserable. So if she can take everything from you, believe me, she will. It's funny how they say women aren't bad. It's men. But here are two women killing each other for assets. Now it won't sound so bad to eat sausage instead of arepa. So welcome to the world of men. Hopefully, they'll take half of your money, half of your house, and make you pay alimony, so you can see how wonderful it is to be on the other side. Here I wonder, what does the judge do? Because look, she says she doesn't recognize herself. Of course not. She's going after your money. Brothers, if it's difficult for a man to deal with a woman, it's even worse between women. That's why they believe marriages have the highest rate of domestic abuse. So, once again, welcome to the world of men. You reap what you sow.
Maybe I'm the problem. Nah, that doesn't even sound right.
Welcome to the wall. In today's video, I want to show you the epidemic of loneliness among women, which is becoming increasingly severe. Nowadays, women reach their 20s without having had a boyfriend, and that's concerning. So we ask the question, what's happening with the modern woman? Before we begin, we want to thank you for being here. Your support means a lot to us. If you like what you see, we invite you to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. We'd also love to hear about your experiences in the comments. Your participation helps us grow and reach more people. Thank you for being part of our project. Let's get started.
You guys, I cannot believe what my own mother said to me last night. She said, Kira, you need to go out and get a boyfriend. You're getting too old. She is kind of right. But what? I was like, Mother, that is so rude. Why would you say that to me? Oh my gosh. Okay, but if we're being real, where am I gonna meet someone if I barely leave my house? Like, the only place I really go to is the grocery store. And I've actually always envisioned myself meeting my future husband at the grocery store. Like, in the pasta aisle or something. Like, we'll bump into each other and we'll make eye contact. And then, I don't know. Ugh. You just know it's bad when your own mom points it out. These are just too good.
Then they get angry if they're called leftover women in China. Their mothers are wise. They see their daughters heading straight for the wall. As we all know, The wall doesn't forgive. For these women from traditional cultures of years past, it's hard to understand how their daughters can't find a man. Sometimes it's not that they're unattractive. It's just that they either don't put themselves out there for men to approach, or they have unrealistic standards for the men they want. I'm sure it's the latter. They might think they'll find their prince charming in a supermarket. Imagine this scene. She's holding an eggplant in her hands, and a man on the other side is holding a papaya. Their eyes meet as she shows him the eggplant, and he shows her the papaya. Love at first fruit. Let's stop this nonsense. Women, lower your standards so you don't end up as leftover women in the Pacific, or as the cat lady in the West, scared of a role.
So, I've never been in a relationship. I've had situations, but not to the extent where I would call it a proper relationship. And I'm 25, and some people think that that's a little bit old to have never been in one, but I know that there's a bunch of people also out there who is in the same situation. But it's come to that point where I can't even see myself in one. I enjoy being by myself, and I enjoy not having to check in with someone all the time or having to worry about another person, because I have to focus on myself at the moment. And relationships, when they're good, work really well for people, but I think we put too much pressure on them, because for a long time I felt bad about not being in one, but at the same time not wanting one. So, if you're 25 and not in a relationship, or older, or younger, whatever, realize it's okay, and you already have the best person in your life to spend your time with, which is yourself. So that was just something I was thinking, and yeah, have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.
They know she's had situations where the classic chat has already passed through, didn't stay. This is what I'm saying. You hear them say, I'm focused on my career, and you'd think they're at least becoming millionaires, when they're actually working 8 to 5 with low pay. These women live in this Disney fantasy where that high-value man they deserve will come and find them because they're the chosen ones, instead of settling for one of those situations, no matter how much they try to hide their feelings. Sadness is clearly evident in their words. They seem like someone who's resigning themselves to their situation. When they hear, spend time with yourself, it's better to be alone than in bad company, all that consolation talk to hide the fact that their biological clock is ticking. They know they have to find a man because they're 5 years away from hitting the wall. After 30, it doesn't get any better.
Ready with me while we talk about being single. A little bit about me. I've never been in a relationship before. I'm 24 years old. I've never been in a relationship before, and that's okay. You know, if you're in the same boat, that's fine. I feel like because I've been single for so long, I feel like I've just really learned to be like good on my own. I have things that make me happy. I love like my friendships that I have and doing things that make me happy. So if the right person comes along, great. I love that. If they don't, I know that I'll still be good. And I know that a lot of people say like, oh, you should date around, like discover what you like, what you don't like, get yourself out there. But I can't tell you that there is no ounce within me that would want to go on a date. I'm not on any apps. I don't have any of the apps downloaded. I just really rather not. I really don't have like a place where I could like potentially meet someone. It's really just like work, school, home. So in my head, I'm like, okay, yeah, like maybe a guy isn't just gonna like pop out of nowhere. You know that everyone says, oh, you'll find your person when you stop looking. And I remember when I was really single and wanting a relationship, hearing that, like, you're like, okay, you know, it doesn't really help. But I can't tell you how true it actually is. When you stop letting finding a relationship being your focus, it's okay to want a relationship. Maybe the better saying is like, when you start looking for yourself, you'll find your person. Don't think about, oh, what would this person like? What do you like? Through doing your own thing and through finding yourself, you're just gonna find like-minded people. Just don't settle and I don't want to say desperate, but like desperately search for a relationship just because you feel like you need one, or just because you feel like, oh, at this age I should be at this point. Putting those pressures on yourself helps no one. This is the only time in your life where really you only have to worry about yourself. When you get into a relationship, when you have kids, when you get married, like all those things, other people come into play. But this is the time now where you can just focus on what do you like, get to know yourself, what makes you happy, and just date yourself. You deserve to feel loved. You deserve to feel valued. You deserve to like feel all the feelings and have everything that you want. You deserve to be loved. It's gonna come to you. It's gonna happen. But don't stress over it. Focus on you. Don't settle, and know that everyone has their own timeline. Like, it's so okay and so much better for you to go at your own pace and do what feels right for you. You're on no one's timeline but your own. So don't get down on yourself being like, oh, well, I thought by this age or by this time I would have done this, this, and this, and would have been in this place. Easiest way that you ruin your own happiness is with all these expectations of how everything should be, how you should be, how life should be. It just ruins the vibe. Even though in this chapter of your life you may not have everything that you want, but that doesn't mean you're never gonna have it. Just stay excited for the future. Don't settle. Fall in love with the life that you're creating for yourself. Fall in love with who you are and don't put pressure on yourself. You're doing great and you're gonna find someone who loves everything about you. Know your worth and never settle. Because you deserve it all. I feel like when you date yourself, you're like, oh wow, I'm actually so cool, you know? Become the person that you would want to date. You know what I mean? I guess what I want to say is just like, don't put this weird pressure on yourself to feel like your life has to look like anyone else's, that you're on like some weird timeline with your life. Let your story play out how it's gonna play out. You are already enough, you are already loved, so feel it and know it, please. You're amazing. I love you and I hope you have a great day.
Better make it motivational. I'll just say you need to put yourself in the position where things happen. This goes for both men and women. Nobody will come to your house looking for you if you don't go out to find them yourself. This applies to everything. Now, the modern woman faces a crisis. It's an epidemic of single women because even if many manage to find a man, it doesn't guarantee marriage. This girl was the same one who said maybe it's best to meet someone as friends with benefits or as someone's mistress. This undermines her whole focus on yourself speech when you resort to desperate measures to have a man. Many even prefer a man with a wife just to avoid ending up alone. This was brought on by the purple-haired movement, which has caused men to wake up and prefer to pass over Western women and go to other countries to find a more traditional woman. This affects many girls who find themselves in the situation where no man approaches them.
I'm 24 and never had a boyfriend before. And honestly, I can say it's all my fault. And I'm not saying that if the opportunity came, I never wanted it. I'm just saying I'm okay without it. And no, the opportunity hasn't really arisen from somebody I truly wanted. And I'm okay with that. Like, I am okay with the decision I made or making. I just feel like dating right now is more like an experience. Anyone who wants to talk to me, have my phone number, do whatever, has to reach certain requirements. So I'm damn near dating multiple people. And that's okay with me. Now, it's all my fault for a few reasons. Was I a little crazy? Yes. You know, all the above, yes. But did I have good moments with good people who I maybe just wasn't all the way there for or liked? Yes. So it's literally all the above, all the options above.
They've seen that it's because she has this idea of the man she deserves. But you're an average woman, and women don't want an average man. How are they going to want one when they constantly hear from feminists that they deserve a high-value man? But the truth is, this is a minority of men, about 20%, and it doesn't work out for everyone. Not even the Chad, a man who brings nothing to the table but his seed, works out for all women, even if he tries. I've told you all deserve a high-value man when you're just average women. Now, she says she'll go on some dates, but with this mindset, I assure you they'll all fail. Guess who will be blamed? The man, for not meeting the standards she believes she deserves from a man. Brothers, the wall has been claiming victims in recent years.
Tell me if anyone can relate to this. I am 20 years old and have never had a boyfriend. Don't get me wrong, it's kind of by choice. Feels like I'm the only one in the planet who has never had a boyfriend. Gone on dates and stuff, but I'm just so picky. Can't help myself. Like, I'm not gonna settle for the bare minimum or something that just appears in front of me just so I can have a boyfriend. I'm not gonna have a boyfriend for the sake of having a boyfriend. So hard because all of my friends have boyfriends. They all know, like, they can relate to each other. I'm like, okay. It's not their fault, obviously, but you know, it sucks. And at the same time, I've been single my whole life. I'm so happy by myself. I love my life. Why would I settle to something that won't add value to my life? That audio from TikTok is so real. Like, you're not competing with anyone else. You're competing with myself because I'm so happy alone. But it's a fight in my mind. Like, am I the problem? I am the problem. I know. Like, should I just pick anyone and date them just so I can say I had a boyfriend? You know? Should I do that? It's not right, but it's socially acceptable. So I'm like, I'm 20 years old and I have cousins that are like 15 and already have boyfriends. And I'm like, oh, really? How is it? Time that I'm so young, I'm so old. Because I'm 20? Anyway, the conclusion of this video is, I know there's someone out there that can relate to me. You find someone when you find someone, there's no pressure. Seriously, that's what I try to tell myself every day. Like, I have goals, I have plans, I want to travel the world, I want to see everything, I want to meet people, and I will. And I believe, I have faith that I will meet that person that is right for me. And so are you. There's no running against time. We are so young. Our whole lives ahead of us. And if you plan on getting married, you're going to spend your entire life with that person. So enjoy your time alone now. Like, I don't get the race to finding someone. Respect your body. Respect yourself. Go out there, have fun, and romanticize your life a little bit more. Like, you're alone, but not lonely. Why are you waiting for someone to do that with you? Whatever. Okay? I'm talking about myself, okay? What the hell's anyone? It's kind of a pep talk with myself and with you if you're going through a similar situation. And yeah, have fun. Love you, Betsy. Don't lose faith.
How much do you want to bet she ends up falling for a Chad or becoming some rich man's sugar baby? They search and search until a man comes along, orbiting around her until he convinces her. I guarantee it'll involve money. Because I'm sure many young men have approached her, but since they probably don't have money, she pushes them away. She'll probably sell us the story that she doesn't feel right with anyone, that the chosen one will come. But we all know how hypergamy works for women. We've seen it since we were young, the girl who played hard to get, only to end up with some guy who had a car that was over 30 years old. Because, as I've said, an average woman today doesn't want an average man. That's why feminists get angry when they hit 30 and men seek younger women. But young men see how women their age reject them for being average or poor. That's why I always tell men the best investment you can make is in yourself because you're worth a lot. The more value you have, the more women you'll have. Hit the gym, work on your social skills, and focus on your financial life. Concentrate on that so you can get any girl you want because nowadays the ice cream shop is open.